Hello, my friend. Welcome to your sleep story. My name is Stephen Dalton. I'm an Irish storyteller, and it's my great privilege to be the voice that you listen to as you go to sleep tonight. In tonight's sleep story, we visit Hope, the woman who does very little. Hope lives a very simple life in a cabin in the woods, and she truly enjoys life's simple pleasures. In this visit with Hope, it's a summer's morning, and Hope is enjoying her garden and all of the many pleasures that being outside in the garden can offer. I really hope you like the story. One small thing. I'd just like to thank those of you who support my work through Patreon. And if you'd like to become a patron, you can find the link below this video. Okay, let's do the relaxation session now, which will take a few minutes before tonight's sleep story. I'm going to count down from 10 to 1, and as I do, allow yourself to let go more and more. 10. Feel the support of the bed beneath you, or the floor, and the earth beneath that. Really feel that support. See if you can soften a little more because of it. Really let go now. 9. You are safe. Allow my voice to be an anchor of safety tonight, a guide that will only take you to safe places. Places of curiosity and joy and peace and hope, but above all, safety. Eight. Feel into your body now. Anywhere that you're still holding any tension, any pain, just notice it now and see if that awareness can allow you to let go a little bit more. 7. Peace lives within you. It is always there. It is not an occasional visitor. It is a constant friend. It's just waiting to be seen, waiting to be felt. See if you can feel that peace tonight. 6. The day is done. Whatever has been, has been. Whatever will be, will be. Whatever thoughts you have about what has been or what will be, they don't serve you now. See if you can witness them arrive, and then gently let them go. Don't fight them. Watch them drift away like clouds floating through a starlit sky. 5. This is your moment. This is your time. You deserve rest. We all do. Allow that fact to help you settle into this moment a little bit more now. Know that you deserve this time. 4. Perhaps allow a little gratitude now. Gratitude for the safety of the shelter you find yourself in. Gratitude for the simple things. Loved ones, health, the opportunity of rest. 3. Begin to engage with your imagination now. Begin to see Hope's little wooden cabin in the middle of a beautiful forest. And it's a very beautiful day. The bees are buzzing. The birds are singing. And Hope is enjoying a very relaxing morning, doing very little, as she often likes to do. Begin to imagine the smells in the air, the floral fragrances, the soft summer breeze, all so conducive to a deeply relaxing time, far away from all that you know. 2. Feel into your body one more time now. See if there's any tension remaining. Anything you're holding on to. Just continue to feel the support of the bed or floor beneath you. 1. Completely letting go now. As I tell you tonight's sleep story. It's a sunny summer morning in the world of hope, and the golden rays of the sun filter through the dense canopy of trees, casting playful shadows on the wooden porch of her little cabin. Hope, with her gentle demeanor and quiet smile, steps out into the freshness of the day, her soul as light as the breeze that rustles through the leaves. She is, of course, accompanied by Melissa, her cat, and Fred, her dog. And today, Hope plans to spend her time outside, immersed in the natural beauty that surrounds her cabin. She has no grand agenda, no pressing tasks. Her intention is merely to be present in the moment, to savor the warmth of the sun, and to connect with the small wonders of her garden. As she ties her soft, faded blue apron around her waist, she looks out over the lush greenery, her eyes twinkling with the peaceful anticipation of the day's gentle adventures. Melissa and Fred watch her intently, ready to follow her wherever she might lead. And so, Hope steps off the porch, her sandals crunching softly on the gravel path that leads into the garden. The air is alive with the sounds of summer, the distant buzz of bees, the melodious calls of birds, and the gentle whisper of the wind through the trees. It's these sounds that fill Hope with a deep, resonant peace. And in many ways, this connection to this place fills Hope with hope. As she walks, Hope pauses to breathe deeply, taking in the scents of pine and fresh earth, mixed with the sweet perfume of blooming flowers. Today, she plans to wander through her garden, tend to her small vegetable patch, and sit and watch as her dog chases butterflies and her cat lounges in the dappled sunlight. It's another day for living quietly and observing the beauty of the world. A perfect summer's day in the life of Hope. Just then, she decides that she'd like to do a meditation. She finds a small clearing, surrounded by towering trees of the forest. and overhung with the delicate lace of fern fronds. Here, she lays out a simple woven blanket, and she settles herself comfortably. She gently closes her eyes, turning her attention inward and outward simultaneously. As she begins her meditation, Hope focuses first on her breath, feeling the cool air as it enters her nostrils, fills her lungs, and warms on its way out. Each inhalation is deep and deliberate, drawing in the serenity of the forest, drawing in the energy of this place that she is so connected to. And each exhalation releases anything that she is holding on to. Gradually, Hope's awareness expands to the sounds around her. The soft rustle of leaves in the gentle breeze, the calls of the birds talking to each other, and the subtle hum of nature thriving around her. And with each breath, Hope goes deeper into a state of gratitude. She thinks of the simple joys, the warmth of the sun that nurtures her garden, the rain that often comes and waters her garden, the companionship of her pets, the solitude of her life that enriches her rather than isolates her. She feels the sun's warmth seeping into her skin, the breeze occasionally lifting strands of her hair, cool and refreshing against her scalp. She feels present, thankful, and in a way, quite joyful in this moment. And after some time in this peaceful reflection, feeling refreshed and centered, Hope begins to rise, ready to begin her gentle toil among the plants and soil, carrying with her the peace and gratitude cultivated in these quiet moments of reflection, she strolls over to the section of her garden dedicated to flowers and ornamental plants. The sun, now higher in the sky, bathes the garden in bright, warm light, intensifying the colors of the blooms around her. Today, she decides to start with the roses, which have begun to display their lush, vibrant petals in a range of different colors: deep reds, soft pinks, and pure whites. She retrieves her gardening tools from a small shed nearby: a trowel, pruning shears, and a watering can, all worn from use, but lovingly maintained. Hope doesn't like to throw many things away, if she can still use them, that is. And in a way, these old tools are like old friends. Approaching the rose bushes, Hope examines each plant with a practiced eye, looking for dead flowers and broken branches. She starts to deadhead the roses, a task that involves removing spent blooms to encourage new growth and flowering. The snip of the shears is rhythmic and meditative, each cut carefully considered to promote the health of the plant. After tending to the roses, Hope moves to her beloved lavender plants, which are just beginning to bloom. The air fills with their distinctive, calming scent as she gently runs her hands over the flowers. Satisfied that they are healthy, she uses her trowel to weed around the base of each plant. Her movements slow and methodical, ensuring that the beautiful lavender has plenty of space to expand. Next, she turns her attention to a small patch of sunflowers that tower above the rest of the garden. Their large, bright faces seem to smile down at her as she waters them. the water droplets catching the sunlight and sparkling like tiny prisms. Hope supports the taller stems with stakes and string to protect them from bending or breaking under their own weight. Some are almost twice her height, and Hope thinks of how magnificent they are, and how it's nice that she offers them support and they offer her joy. A symbiotic relationship, if you will. Finishing with the sunflowers, Hope spends some time with her mixed border of wildflowers, daisies, poppies, and cornflowers, which sway gently in the breeze. She walks along the border, pulling out the occasional weed and admiring the natural beauty of the wildflowers. These require little maintenance, but she enjoys interacting with them, feeling a connection to their untamed nature. With her morning gardening complete, Hope steps back to survey her work, a soft smile playing on her lips. The flowers, now pruned, watered, and cared for, seem almost to glow with health and vitality under the summer sun. Content with her morning's work, Hope wipes her brow, leaves her tools by the shed, and decides it's time for a short break before she begins harvesting vegetables. Hope walks over to her favorite bench, nestled under the dappled shade of an old oak tree. The bench, made of weathered wood, holds memories of countless quiet mornings and reflective afternoons spent just like this one. She settles down, the familiar creak of the wood greeting her like an old friend. And from this vantage point, she has a panoramic view of her garden, a canvas of vibrant colors and buzzing life under the summer sun. As she sits, Fred frolics around the garden, nose to the ground, exploring every scent, and Melissa follows at a more dignified pace, occasionally leaping after fluttering butterflies or pouncing on unseen critters in the tall grass. The playful chase between the two friends brings a gentle chuckle from Hope, who finds such joy in their simple, unbridled happiness. Seated on her bench, Hope reflects on the serene isolation of her life here, far removed from the clamor and demands of urban existence. There's no traffic noise here, no sirens or chatter, just the pure, unspoiled sounds of nature. It's a lifestyle not everyone would choose, but for Hope, it is perfect. For Hope knows that she is exactly where she needs to be. And in this quiet corner of the world, she has found not just a home, but a place where her soul can breathe freely. Now she rises from the bench, feeling the pull of an old, comforting habit tugging at her. She decides to journal, a practice she hasn't touched in some time. She steps into the cool, shaded refuge of her kitchen, and she moves towards an aged wooden cupboard that stands against one wall. The cupboard, with its peeling paint and creaky hinges, holds not just dishes and pantry items, but a small, hidden nook where Hope keeps her journal. Now the journal itself is an unassuming notebook, its leather cover worn, soft and supple from years of handling. The leather is a deep, rich brown, with the edges slightly curled from age and use. And as she pulls it from its place, a few dried leaves tucked between its pages flutter to the floor, reminders of days past and thoughts penned under the open sky. This journal is a repository of memories, filled with pages yellowed with time, each scrawled with the neat, looping script of her reflections and dreams. With the journal in hand, Hope returns to the outdoors, settling herself at an old wooden table on the porch. This table, weathered by seasons and laden with the patina of outdoor meals and afternoon writings, serves as her perfect spot for this moment of introspection. As she opens the journal to a blank page, the breeze flips through the previous entries. Hope begins to write, her pen flowing smoothly over the paper, and as she writes, in this state of deep gratitude, she decides to record her memories of how she found this cabin. Years ago, she writes, my life was, well, busy. A bustling sequence of days filled with noise and haste. I lived in the city. I was surrounded by the clamor of crowded streets and the relentless pace of an urban existence. But then that weekend happened. That weekend when I just said, I'm going for a drive. I went on my own, and I drove and I drove, and I remember the feeling I felt. I felt free. For the first time in a long time, I felt free. And I remember that I took a wrong turn on a poorly marked trail, and in the distance, I saw the most beautiful little cabin. I couldn't help but follow the trail, even though my car wasn't really able for it. And I found myself here, on this very porch. Hope pauses, her eyes lifting to scan the peaceful expanse before her. She then continues, that moment was serendipitous, a slice of tranquility, a place that was so vastly different from the world that I was used to. I knew in that moment, with a clarity that surprised me, that this was what I had been searching for, without even knowing it. She finishes writing there, and as she closes her journal, she realizes how useful it is to reflect on where she has come from Not all the time, but sometimes. It helps her realize how far she has come and what she has to be thankful for. Hope stands and stretches, feeling the pull of her muscles after sitting for a while. She feels a gentle rumble in her stomach, a quiet signal that it's time to nourish herself. Smiling at the thought of a fresh, homegrown salad, she walks over to the vegetable plot that occupies a sunny corner of her garden, where the soil is rich and dark. The vegetable plot is a riot of green in various shades and textures. Each type of vegetable vibrant against the earth. Hope reaches for her woven basket, kept just beside the shed near the plot. The basket is made of willow, sturdy and open-weaved, perfect for holding the bounty of her garden. And with the basket in hand, she begins her own personal harvest. First, she approaches the lettuce rows, where the leaves fan out like soft green waves. She selects the outer leaves of several plants, plucking them gently to encourage continued growth and freshness. The leaves are crisp and cool to the touch, a lush deep green that promises flavor and vitality. She lays them carefully in her basket, the base of which is now lined with a natural bed of lettuce. Next, she moves to the cherry tomato plants. They hang from their vines like little red jewels, plump and shiny under the sun. Hope touches each tomato gently, testing for ripeness. Those that are ready come off easily into her hand. She collects a handful of these, enjoying the slight give of their skins under her fingers, a sure sign of their juicy readiness. Beside the tomatoes, the cucumbers have grown, their dark green skins slightly prickled. Hope selects a couple of the best-looking ones, slicing them off their vines with a small knife that she carries for this purpose. She then turns to the radishes, their red and white bulbs peeking through the dark soil like hidden treasures. Bending down, she pulls them gently from the earth, and the radishes come out with a satisfying pop, their roots trailing bits of soil. Her basket nearly full, Hope finishes by picking a few green onions. Their sharp scent rises immediately as she gathers them, cutting them with her knife from where they cluster in the ground. Satisfied with her harvest, Hope stands back and looks over her basket, filled with the colors and textures of her garden's yield. The simple act of picking vegetables, so deliberate and unhurried, fills her with a quiet joy. She carries the basket back towards the cabin, ready to create a meal as fresh and fulfilling as the garden itself. Once in her kitchen, Hope starts by washing the vegetables under running water. The crisp snap of lettuce and the splash of water drops bring a rhythmic, almost meditative quality to her task. Next, she slices the cucumbers, which release a fresh, earthy aroma. She cuts the cherry tomatoes in halves and then moves on to the radishes, which she slices thinly. Their peppery scent mingles with the sweeter smells already in the air. Finally, the green onions are chopped, adding a sharpness that she knows will complement the milder flavors of the other vegetables. As Hope combines all the ingredients in a large salad bowl, she takes a moment to appreciate the colors and textures before her. She drizzles olive oil over the salad, followed by a splash of vinegar, and seasons it. She then prepares to sit down, and as she does, reflects on the journey of each vegetable from seed to salad. After eating, Hope begins to feel a little sleepy and decides to take a break from the sun in a shaded area of the garden where her hammock is. She grabs her favorite book from a shelf near the door, a well-thumbed volume titled Finding Peace in Nature. Hope walks to her hammock, strung between two sturdy oak trees in a cool, leafy part of her garden. The hammock sways invitingly as she settles into it, the book in hand. She opens the book to a marked page, the words greeting her like an old friend. The beauty of a single leaf, with its intricate lines and vibrant colors, mirrors the complexity and beauty of life itself. Each leaf that we see is a reminder that the most profound truths are often found in the simplest of forms. As we walk through the woods, let the forest's timeless rhythm slow our steps and clear our minds. Each element of the forest is a lesson in living, a piece in the puzzle that is our existence. And with each sunrise, we are offered a new beginning. The dawn chorus of birdsong heralds a day ripe with possibility and wonder. And as hope's eyes move from passage to passage, her eyelids grow heavy. The soothing cadence of the author's words blending with the natural lullaby of rustling leaves and distant bird calls. And in this moment, hope slowly drifts into a deep, restful nap, surrounded by the comforting embrace of her garden, and accompanied by her two precious companions, Melissa and Fred, who were fast asleep as well, just next to their beloved friend, Hope.